Welcome to Breaking Sports Card Hobby News Time, guys. We've got a couple of doozies for you. Stick around. Hello to all my sports card collector, investor, all of the collectibles friends out there in the universe. How the heck is everybody doing? We are at Hump Day. We're at Wednesday. The NBA season has started. I'm actually watching a little bit of the game right now. Filming this on Tuesday, coming out on Wednesday morning. But the Bucks right now are kind of having their way with the Nets. We'll see if it stays that way. But the NBA has tipped off. Unbelievable. It's good times. Tonight or tomorrow night, Wednesday night, is off-centered with Dustin, and no Brad tomorrow. He is going to be out of town. He's going to be out of town on business, cannot make it. Hasn't prioritized it, frankly. He didn't prioritize it this week, and so I am running that show solo. But looking forward to hanging out with you all on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's just going to be kind of a hobby talk Q&A type thing. It'll be fun. So we'll just kind of take the comments out of the chat. We'll talk about it, and we'll go from there. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, the like button, the little tappity tap on the notification bell so that you are notified every time we come out with new videos. And we come up with probably 5-6 videos a week or so. It's all about sports cards, collectibles, hobby-related stuff. It's a good time. All right, a big Instagram account that I follow and many hobbyists do follow. It's Card Porn on Instagram. They have come out with some interesting stuff here over the last few days. One in particular that I wanted to kind of draw attention to that I thought was interesting. It was just a story that I thought was interesting to follow. And it was all about a Jordan Metal Universe Championship card from 97-98 in a BGS 9 case. But I guess kind of the plot twist on this is this particular card with the same serial number on it was recently in an HGA case. So there was kind of all this, there's been a lot of talk about, and on Cardport's channel as well, just kind of talking about how fake cards are being, there's attempts at getting fake cards through HGA with it being a new company, fairly popular new grading company as well, that they are trying to pass these fakes through kind of that new grading company. And unfortunately, that one did get through, but then after further research, Card Porn people did find out that this card also was in a BGS case. It was in a BGS 9 case previously. There was some sort of, and you'll have to read this, go to their site, follow them on IG, but they were trying to kind of piece it together. And essentially what their hypothesis was that this was originally in a BGS case, but then BGS found it to be fake. And so they had labeled it that way, I guess, in their database, in their system. And so I guess the hypothesis or the hunch is that they got it out, they cracked it out of that BGS case to move it over to HGA, and they were successful in moving it over to the HGA case. But then, of course, with the online detectives doing their thing, they were able to find this card, this fake card. And this is a thing that kind of amazes me, and it's good on people that are in on this, whether it be fake slabs, fake the traced autos, the fake patches, the fake cards. With the hobby bringing in big money over the last couple of years, there's really no surprise that this sort of thing is happening. If you think about it, there was a lot of card trimming going on long before this was this big of a business. And if it kind of continues being kind of this big business that it's kind of growing into, the sports card hobby, I doubt this is the last that we see of this type of stuff. But it's actually really amazing. Wax Museum Podcast is another guy, runs a great podcast and YouTube channel, but he does a lot of this detective work too, and it's incredible. I just don't see how they catch this stuff, because we're talking about small details here, guys. We're not talking about like obvious things. Sometimes there's some obvious things with a fake slab or fake card or whatever, but in many cases you're talking about very small changes in the card, that make it altered or fake or trimmed or whatever it is, and that's what's just absolutely shocking. And so I like kind of hearing these stories, just hearing that there's kind of these online detectives that are doing this sort of thing and just keeping a watch out, because frankly, and whether it be with any sort of sports memorabilia, signed jerseys and bats and balls and all the stuff, there is, and I think that there was a big article about the FBI's presence at the National, and the FBI guy was basically like, yeah, there's a lot of effort and money going into fraudulent sports memorabilia, sports stuff. And the thing that's I guess disturbing about it is that it's good enough to pass kind of that third-party grading test in certain cases. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't pass. But look, I mean, the grading companies are not going to be perfect on this stuff. They're just not. It's impossible, especially if they're just all, there's people out there that do these forgeries that are excellent at it. They're pros at it, and so they're like, they work hard to make it look authentic. The same sorts of things happen in the art world. When you talk about, you'll hear like someone paid $10 million for a piece of art and then find out later that it was not the original print, type stories. They happen. And the thing that's incredible is the forgeries are so close. They're so amazingly close to the original that's the part that's a little bit, it's something that we have to kind of adapt to and watch out for operating in this market. It won't go away. There will always be the risk of this sort of thing. And I don't think anyone's completely immune to it. So chalk that up as just part of the risks being a part of the hobby. But this is a really interesting story. So follow them on IG. They're doing some good work out there identifying this stuff. All right. Another announcement that got some attention here over the last few days. Who's Behind the Card? And that's another IG account to take a look at. Who's Behind the Card? It's a sports card documentary that is going to be coming out. I don't know if there's an actual release date attached to it. I think it was kind of a stay tuned. On the actual kind of documentary poster that's posted online, you've got guys such as Vegas Dave, Stevie Aoki, and Jeff Wilson. And there was some pushback again I saw online where people were kind of frustrated about some of the details of this. There was some funny commentary on Instagram in reaction to this documentary and some of the people that have been interviewed in it and some of the people that are in it. And I just thought that was kind of comical. I mean, it's kind of like you get arguments on both sides, and I'm just excited to see the documentary. And I'm a little bit hurt that I wasn't called to be in the documentary. How come I wasn't interviewed, or at least like a 10-second snippet? I know the longtime hobbyists are like, what are you talking about? You've only been back in for a few years. You're not allowed. That's fine. That's fine. I'm joking. I don't need to be in the sports card documentary. But if there is another one, if there's a second one coming out, I'm open here if you want to talk. I am open for the sports card documentaries. All right, guys, Sports Collectors Daily, great hobby news site. Check them out, sportscollectorsdaily.com. A couple of articles that I was looking at, I wanted to share. And again, they're great for hobby news. They've got product offerings. They've got a lot of different things. I'll put their link in the video description to go check them out. They had an article, a couple that I want to talk about. Upper Deck having issues with supply chain to where they've got Series 1 hockey to 2021-2022 that is being delayed until December. And then they also said that there's going to be certain releases that are just going to be canceled altogether. So Upper Deck having some big time issues with some of their hockey releases. And of course, that starts the whole like speculation thing of like, is Upper Deck up for sale? Have they already done some behind the scenes, sale to where they just don't care? There was a bunch of speculation that Fanatics was going to buy Upper Deck. I really like Upper Deck cards. I'm buying a lot of Upper Deck cards now from the late 90s, early 2000s. I love a lot of their designs. I like their autos. I like all the different things that Upper Deck has done over the years. So I just hope that Upper Deck stays in the fold no matter what that means. Whether it be a Fanatics buying them or whatever the case may be, I hope that Upper Deck continues to make product. And honestly, I'm just going to enjoy their old stuff as well. They've got great stuff that's, from that, like I said, from that late 90s up through the 2000s, there's some really good stuff. So check that out. Upper Deck, though, hitting some bumps in the road. Hopefully they get through it soon. And lastly, fractional share company Rally Road has just received $15 million in funding, it looks like, including money from Bill Simmons, Kevin Durant, and guess who? John Stamos. Yes, John Stamos, Jesse from Full House, is putting money into Rally Road and fractional sports cards. Everyone's getting in on it, guys. Everyone's getting in the game. It's just funny when you hear like a John Stamos. That's not necessarily someone, we've heard of Mark Wahlberg, other actors that have gotten involved with sports cards, sports memorabilia, but John Stamos is in on it. He's in on the act. I wonder what other actors, celebrities are involved that we just have no idea because they're operating behind the scenes. I'm sure there's Brad Pitt's probably got like a 7-figure collection or something. We just have no idea. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me again for this week's Hobby news, it's a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, but thank you very much for being patient. It's been kind of a wonky few weeks for me, but we are getting back on schedule with more of that daily routine, which I love. I love hanging out with you guys, so thanks very much for being here. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.